I want to clear up some of the confusion about grid drawing. So to do that, I've actually taken one of these grid drawing options and I've cut it up into some different pieces, because when we're working on our grid drawing, what we're doing isn't actually drawing the whole picture. We're only going one box at a time. So I'm going to start out by labeling each of these sections. So I have a picture that's horizontal. So I have columns 1, 2, and 3, and rows A, B, and C. So this is A1, A2, A3, A4, B1, B2, B3, B4, C1, C2, C3, C4. And I can erase those at the very end. And then I'm going to do that on this part as well. This is A1, B1, C1. This is A2, B2, and C2. This is A3, B3, and C3. And this is A4, B4, and C4. Now, because I've cut this up and I am going to choose one of these strips at random and just start on one part of my picture. And I'm going to say that I want to work on box C2. So when I isolate just C2, and if I look at it, it doesn't look like a buck. It just looks like two shapes. Then I'm going to find box C2 on my paper, and I want to try to draw everything I see in here as accurately as I can in this bigger box. So the shapes are going to get enlarged a little bit. I'll notice I have some white space and these gray shapes. The gray shape starts a little bit further down from the top and ends a little bit above the middle. So I can start to find that spot on this edge. And then I want to try to sketch the shape as accurately as I can. It's okay if it's not perfect, but we do want to try to do our best to draw what we see on this final paper. Same with this other shape. If I think it starts and ends about right here, that's what I would draw it. But we're not drawing what we imagine it to look like based on if we know what the picture is. We're just trying to draw the shapes that we see. And we're also going to match the values. In this one, it's a consistent gray, so I would try my best to shade it a consistent gray. Then I'm going to choose another random spot on my drawing after I finish this one. By going randomly instead of the one next to it, you can have a better check for accuracy that your whole picture will line up at the end. Because if it doesn't line up, then you can know which one is or isn't working. So let's say I wanted to do something from column 3 next, and let's say I wanted to do B3. In B3, I notice there's the corner that's white, and then a lot of the shape in here is gray, and then there's white right down here, and then there's this part that comes up kind of like this. So this is part of the reason why we have to shade as we're going, so we can tell what parts of the picture are what. So then I would work on shading everything that needs to be shaded. Just so you can see how our picture is going to start to come together, I'm going to draw B2 next. So I notice there's this white shape and this white shape. So it starts just a smidge above halfway, and then it kind of goes up, and then it kind of goes over and down. So I'm going to draw the part that goes over and down. Again, if you make a mistake, that's okay. The goal is to try your best. And then I notice when it gets to about here, or about here, then it sort of starts to curve down. And then if I look, does it look like these should match up? They should, but are they also matching up in about the right spot? Does this shape still look like it does on here? I think it does. So I think that it's accurate enough. And then over here, does this one come where it should be? And can I get this white space over here? And then if I draw it, maybe I think it should be higher on this one, and this one went a little bit too low. So then I can go back and edit this edge after I've checked and made sure that that's accurate on this one too. So that's why sometimes it's helpful to really focus one at a time, and you can use the points where they connect to really check for accuracy. And then, of course, before I move on to the next one, I would want to shade in this space as well.